doing marketers because people go like, I don't even. First of all, I think Bradley Barcola is becoming one of the most overhated players online for no reason.
People just bang average. Let's be honest. But go on.
He's not bang average.
He's an average winger, man. He's so
he's
hit and miss.
Does he do it 2 seasons in a row?
He does some great things and then he does some awful things.
Yeah, but he's more effective in the same team than Desiree Doué and Kvara, so he can't be that bad.
He's nowhere near Kvara.
I was gonna say I don't know about Kvara, but
he's nowhere near Kvara. Yes, thank you, Tariq. Kvara is more than quadruple the player.
Okay, but Barcola. 1 second, Dio. Barcola is a technically sound player. He's very good first touch. Can get past his winger. Yes, his decision making is lacking, but it's the same thing with Doué, and these guys have the same like
Doué. Yeah, I can hear that in regards to that. He's nowhere near Kvaratskhelia. It's not even close. Kvaratskhelia is more than double the
Kvaratskhelia to the side. I just think he's overhated. Like people act like he's not
because I think he's over. I think the reason why people do that because people are talking about it.
Bang average for me is like Somerville.
Flawless.
Somerville is bang average.
Flawless. Can I say this?
I don't think there's much difference.
Even at the World Cup,
you don't think there's a difference between Somerville and Barcola?
I don't think there's much difference. No. What does Barcola do that? What does Barcola do that's clear of Somerville?
Dribbling, technical ability.
I don't think he's clear. I don't think he's technically clear. Again, hear what I'm saying. Clear. He's not better. I don't think he's clear. I think Barcola is just in a sensational team with sensational players.
Part of it is who he plays for and the exposure that he gets by playing for PSG.
This is what I'm saying.
Flawless.
You know PSG have to break down low blocks. Like
yes, and they have players in front of him to do that.
Can I just say
I'd look competent
he's
in
the one that does that sometimes.
No, because the focus is everywhere else. I'd look competent in their system. Look at the players he has around him. What we doing here?
Yeah, but even for France, we see him get past his full back and stuff like this. Even the game that they lost against Spain, he was the only one. They had 0 XG in the first half. He was the only one that got past his fullback and attempted something.
Flawless. He plays in a good team, fair enough. But you also have to look at his individual contributions. This World Cup alone, he started 4 games in the World Cup, right? He only played 4 games. He had 3 goals and 1 assist.
Yeah, no one's doubting his ability to impact games. I just don't think he's 100 million.
But I'm not saying he is. I'm saying, but the market.
No one's 100 million, buddy. This is the market.
Some people are closer to 100 million than others. For him, it's batshit crazy.
Listen, but
he's nowhere near Morgan Rogers as a winger. What are we doing?
He's better than Rodgers as a winger.
He's not better than Morgan Rogers. No,
as a winger, he definitely is.
No, he's not. He don't perform at Aston Villa the same way Morgan Rogers does.
He's a better dribbler than Morgan Rogers, and I would say he keeps the width better.
No, he kicks
and I would say he's better in. I would say he's better in tight spaces as well.
No, he's definitely not. He's a kick and runner. That's what he does. He can kick the ball and run past the player.
Definitely not kick and run. That's so disingenuous.
No. I'm not saying that he's kick and run. What I'm saying is he kicks the ball past his fullback and runs past better than run. He is not a better dribbler or ball carrier than Morgan
Rogers. Let's do this.
He's definitely better than Morgan Rogers.
Husam, I want to read something out. Morgan Rogers started 37 games, 10 goals and 6 assists last season, right? Barcola, 21 games that he started. You know what his stats are?
11-1.
11-1. He played less games, made more impact than Morgan Rogers, who had more games, almost 11 more games than him, who could have made more impact in those games. My point. You go. Yes, you can look at the player and say maybe skill for skill, dribble for dribble, ball control. Morgan Rogers is better. You can look at that and try and pick on the technicalities. The contribution that the player makes to the team in the Champions League, in their league, in the World Cup, wherever they are, the contribution that make. For example, Morgan Rogers made an impact for England in the World Cup. That's an important. So you know that. But again, contribution is what I'm looking at now at this stage, because that's what's going to win you games. So if you can come in and give me 13 goals and 4 assists as my left winger in your first season, or give me
that's very good, of course.
That's fair. That's good enough for me. It's both my left wingers, Trossard and Martinelli together, did not give me that last season.
Yeah, because both your left wingers are not good enough, hence why he want an improvement. But comparing his numbers to Morgan Rogers is so disingenuous.
Why?
One's at PSG the best team. I'll explain why. Give me that one, and I'll explain.
You just said that Morgan Rogers is a better left winger, which is why I compared their numbers.
Yeah,
and I said
yes.
no. I won't compare them as wingers. I would Morgan Rogers for a 10, and the way he plays, because he's a utility player, is
we know technically he's better. We know this. That's why I
actually disagree with that.
That's why I was
technically, but he's technically.
I think Barcola is technically sound, though. I don't get this.
No, I don't. I think this is why he gets overrated, because people like I said, he's in an exceptional team and an exceptional system with the best attackers possible. That's why he.
Yeah, but we've seen players in. Okay. Once again.
I think you have to be absolutely.
Do you rate Desiree Doué?
Desiree Doué. I think Doué is a good player.
He's outscored Desiree Doué in the same system, same style, under the same manager 2 years in a row.
Yes, because he can spin him behind and things of that nature. I'm not comparing. I'm not talking about.
Doué is a better dribbler, and he doesn't do that.
Let's stop the GNA thing. I'm not talking about a GNA thing. You have to be absolutely horrific as an attacker to play with those players in that team and not get GNA. What are we talking about? Let me land here. As a squad player, if you can't get GNA and you can't put up double figures, something's off there. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, they are an exceptional team. What are we doing out here? Like I said, I don't rate him, man. This is why it gets
what makes them exceptional?
The reason why
what makes them exceptional?
Let me talk. The reason why I brought up Doué is because they're in the same system, under the same manager, in the same league.
Yes.
For PSG, Desiree Doué last season, I think, had 5 goals, 3 assists, and the year before that had 6 goals, 6 assists. When everyone was like, "Oh my God, Desiree Doué," Barcola had 14 goals and 10 assists. So the reason why I think it's fair, I'm not comparing from 2 different leagues, 2 different teams, same team, same condition, same manager. One guy, and by the way, this is not just so the people know, this is not just flawless. If I ask 95% of football fans around the world, would you take Desiree Doué? People go like, yeah, I'd take him. And then you ask about Barcola, they're like, oh, I think he's just a bang average player. He's over.
But
one guy, the guy that you think is bang average, is outscored the other guy in the same team.
Can happen, man, because that can happen, because Doué's game, Barcola's game is more spinning him behind, getting on the end of things, whereas Doué is the more creative in that sense. Like, that's what it is. And their goal, I just checked their goal tallies. Their goals ain't far apart. Like, yes, he's gonna outscore him. Like, what we talking about? So if he outscored,
bro, it's double his goals. What do you mean?
Wait. Barcola outscored Kvaratskhelia, correct?
Yes. I mentioned that.
Nowhere near
he had 8 and 4.
All this dead because he's nowhere near Kvaratskhelia.
I mentioned
it's not
that.
even close. It's not even close. It's not even so that proves my point.
Guys, one mic. If we're talking about the French league, by the way, you're saying it's not close. Last season it was 11-7, and the year before that it was 14-6. So it's definitely not close.
They both got 13 goals across all comps last season.
Yeah, but Doué was the starter in the Champions League, and Barcola wasn't.
No, yeah, but it happens. But the point,
maybe Barcola was the starter in the league.
The point is that we're not bypassing that. We can't say Barcola is so much better than Doué, because wait. We can't say, hold up, Dial. We can't say Barcola is so much better than Doué because he scores more goals. But then when I point out Barcola scores more than Kvaratskhelia, we don't keep the same energy. It goes to show goals and assists ain't all that.
I'm not saying Barcola is better than Doué. I'm saying,
let me land. There's nobody.
I'm saying he's overhated. That's
it. I don't think he's overhated. I think it just goes to show Barcola's outscored Kvaratskhelia, and he's nowhere near Kvaratskhelia. It's not even a debate.
I think what we're mixing up here is how skillful the player is with what their impact is on the team. What Barcola has, the impact Barcola has on the team. For example, Barcola has a higher creation chance and shot than both Morgan Rogers and Kvaratskhelia on goal. So now
I don't think he's not better than Kvaratskhelia or Rogers though.
I don't think he's better than Kvara either.
I'm not clarifying that. I was just making sure.
Because Kvara did it as well at Napoli in a more difficult league.
I'm just making sure we clarify.
Kvaratskhelia has more moments. But the reason why I brought up the numbers is not just to compare them using GA. That's not my point. My point is, I use the numbers to prove the point that I feel like Bradley Barcola is overhated, like he's just an average winger and stuff like this. Yeah, but one winger that all the world would take has half his numbers almost in 2 seasons, and people would take Desiree Doué. So would I. I'd take Desiree Doué. Yeah. I'm just pointing out that I don't think Bradley Barcola... okay, I'll put it this way. Bradley Barcola walks into the Premier League and he's probably the second best winger immediately.
That tells you all you need to know about the left wingers in the league.
He's the second best winger, full stop in the league.
Yeah, but
who's first?
But that tells you all about the level of the. When people do that, the reason why I don't, because if the left winger, if the left winger's overall standards not high, that's easy to do. If Liao joins his top 5, I don't rate Liao highly. What are we talking about here? I'm not a big fan of Doku. It can be argued he's top 5. You can be average and still be one of the best if the overall level is average. We got to stop doing that.
1 second, Dio. 1 second. Okay, but I agree with that, and that's what we started our monologue.
That's what we started.
I literally have
the left wing.
I can just say again the obvious level.
I have no problem with anything Flawless said over the last 30 seconds, but this comes back to our initial point, which is the market dictates what you do. Because what's the other option? I either pay 110 for Barcola or pay 100 for Yildiz, who's also unproven and also needs to prove himself.
Yes, they're going to be unproven, but at some point, unless you're at academy project who's come through the ranks and everyone's talking about, everybody's unproven at some point. You know what your scouts do? There's hundreds of thousands of players playing left wingers across the market, across the world that Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, City, and Chelsea can all scout. Go find him. That's what I'm saying. Yandy Amande, no one weren't talking about this time last season. Now all of a sudden he's 100 million. Leipzig pulled him from somewhere. There's wingers out there. So yes, the obvious transfer market, if you're going for known names, of course it's going to be 80, 90, 100 million plus. Go elsewhere in the market. I disagree with that so wholeheartedly that it's all right, we have to sign these players. No, because let me land. A Brighton, a Palace, a Bournemouth, etc. are going to go and get wingers. They're going to have one good season in the Premier League and all of a sudden they're 80 million, 90 million.
Something that comes with in football when people perceive a player as a top level player, there's a way that, until that player is found out, there's a way defenders kind of defend against you until you are fully found out that you're a fraud.
And also, Flawless, that scouting that you're talking about, both us and Arsenal did. Arsenal got Zolas and we got Munoz. So both of us did that part of the equation.
But I'm going one further. If the Liverpool scouting team can't find a winger to start for Liverpool, they need to be fired. They're not equipped to do their job. In the whole worldwide of football, if they can't find a winger to start for Liverpool, and same with Arsenal, I put Manchester United in that bracket.
If Bradley Barcola, that's the way.
If you are on it, no, Bradley Barcola is an easy scout. No, better than that. If you can't find better than Barcola.
I get what you're saying, but the difference between us and Bournemouth is we have expectations. Meaning,
I'm not talking about Bournemouth. I'm not talking about.
I'm saying generally, fair enough. Like you're against. Obviously, there are examples of what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, if we did what you're talking about last season, you'd be spot on. With Salah here, go buy someone no one knows, and he can develop and improve.
Not even necessarily no one knows, but someone. Yeah, when you sign Salah, I'm glad you mentioned Salah. Go find Salah. Not a level of Salah, but go and find somebody like Salah.
I understand what you're saying. I'm saying, had Mo still been at the club, like let's assume the same conversation we were having 21st July 2025. You'd be correct because Mo was still at the club. As things stand, our problem is we don't have the starter to begin with. That's the problem. Because we have a certain level of expectation.
Yes,
I don't think that we can do like 2 Monozes, 2 Zolas.
You don't have to do 2 Monozes. Go find
someone like at least.
So you're telling me you don't think Liverpool, your scouts and recruitment team, can find a winger that's good enough to start for Liverpool right now?
Good enough to start.
That's not all, but are you ruling out the big names like the Barcola?
Probably not good enough. To start.
That's where we disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
So can I ask you
I don't want you about to just take a punt out.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. There's
Diomande needs to go to Leipzig and get.
Oh, you're gonna say Leao too?
Forget Diomande. I'm talking about when you signed Salah. Salah was
but had Diomande came to Liverpool last season, we wouldn't have gotten the minutes
when you signed anyway. When you signed Mo Salah, was he a starter straight away?
Yes.
Okay, and was he good enough?
Yes.
Okay, so you're telling me you found Salah and you can't find nobody else in the whole
world? I'll sell you Jack Grealish.
But Salah wasn't a scouting job because he wasn't team of the season in Serie A.
Okay, so go find some. The point is I'm making.
He wasn't team of the season in Serie A. He wasn't some random guy.
Right, so go back to Serie A then and find someone that's team of the season. It don't have to be
the other guy that we can find is Yildiz, who's also 100 million. That's the problem.
Don't have to be Yildiz. Go elsewhere. You telling me these are the only players out there?
Again.
This is the thing, Flawless. Right now. If Salah was at Roma right now, he'd cost 100 M's.
Yeah, he would. I'm proving a point to talk about. Forget them being known. I'm talking about the talent level. You're saying that in the whole world, before you go, Gaio, the whole world of football, there's no one that Liverpool can go and find to start this season. Your scouting department needs to be bombed in.
Rafael Leao, no.
Can I something real quick?
No Leao.
It's a wrap, yo. The whole world, there's thousands of footballers playing football across the globe, and you can't find one player to go.
Brother, Leao is 50 million. He is 40, 50 million
There's
pounds.
expectations at the club, flawless. You're ignoring that.
Expectations